Good morning, guys. Excuse my hair. I need to get it done. I just took my weave out. I sure did. But hey. I am Sharpen Nicole. Welcome. Come on in. If you're going to be watching a replay, welcome. Thank you for joining. Share. You can share by clicking those three little dots and share to your community. You can also tap it up to give me some hearts. Good morning, everybody. I am Sharpen Nicole, owner of Hung Up Boutique. I am a speaker, a writer, an influencer, an encourager, a motivator, a mother, a sister, a friend. I am a little bit of everything, and I am a believer. I take pride in all of those things, and I'm serious when it comes to all of those things. So as you can see, my topic says, many talk, but few execute. And don't we know a lot of people like that? We know people that talk about it, but they're not executing anything, right? And it's reasons behind that. Number one, individuals just don't really fully believe what they are talking about. So it's really important when you are starting a business, when you are starting to do anything, that you, number one, believe in yourself. By you believing in yourself, that means that you will be able to execute the thing that the thing that you believe in, right? So you have to make sure that instead of talking about it, and while you're talking about it, that you're actually believing what you're talking about, right? That's number one. So like I said, I just wanted to get on here and just give you guys a few little tips that I use that help me implement my goals, that helps me execute what it is that I want to do, the things that I plan to do, the things that I put on my vision board at the beginning of this year. I have been able to execute a lot of those things, and that's because I have a plan in action. That's because I'm asking myself vital questions that's going to help me be able to execute the things that I want to do, the goals that I have, the plans that I have, the things that I want to do as a parent. You still have to have a plan. You have to know how you're going to execute those things. So number one, like I said, is you have to believe in yourself. I mean, you're not going to be able to execute anything if you don't believe in yourself. So just make sure that you're really focused, and what you're telling yourself is that you believe it. If you believe that you can be a poet, you have to believe deep down on the inside that you can be a poet. And I say that because if you don't believe it, that means that I can come up to you, or anybody in your family, right? They can come up to you and tell you that you suck at this, you can't do it, you whack. And those little words that they speak to you, and it's only, I just said one word, but they can say that one word to you, and guess what? It's going to stop you from doing what you actually say that you can do, or what you actually claim that you believe you can do. So number one, it starts with you. So you have to make sure that you're so confident in what it is that you want to do, so that when individuals come to you and they try to knock what it is that you're doing, you're going to still be able to execute. You're not just going to be talking about it. You're actually going to be doing the work so that you can bring your plan into action. Number two, you have to sharpen your focus. You have to focus on your craft at it, whatever it is. If you want to be a writer, practice writing poems. Write to yourself. I love to write. I always write to myself. I'm writing to God. I'm just writing my thoughts out. So you have to sharpen your focus. Focus on what it is that you really want to do. If you want to be a rapper, focus on your craft. You can't, I tell my son all the time, both of my kids, actually, both of my children, they're both boys, and they both enjoyed football, right? But in order for them to execute on the field, they have to sharpen their focus when they're not on the field, when they're not going to practice with the coach. They have to still work on sharpening their focus. They have to sharpen their craft. And the only way to do that is to what? Practice, to work on it, to write it out. You have to focus on it. We spend so much time on social media and on TV and putting our energy into everyone else, and we're not putting our energy into what it is that we want to do, right? So when you're sharpening your focus, you have to ask yourself, what do I need to do to execute my plan and or my goals? So you have to ask yourself that. Like, even with my son, he's 11, my oldest is 21. I just asked my youngest yesterday. We were in a car. They lost their football game on Saturday. And actually, this is the third game that they lost. And they actually have great players, right? But what I see in the kids is they don't, and it goes back to my number one, they don't fully believe that they can execute when they're on the field. They execute in practice, but when they get on the field, they get intimidated. And this is just what I see from afar. I take the parent mode out. This is just me looking at these kids. They look defeated in the beginning of the game before the game has even started. So right, and I told their parents at practice the Thursday before Saturday last week, I told them, I was like, I don't know what you guys do with your kids when you're at home. I don't know if your kids is only out here playing football because you're making them, but whatever it is, I really hope that you guys are encouraging your children. I hope that you're having conversations with them after the game and you're asking them what happened out there. So I have these conversations with my kids. My child is 11, but trust and believe, I have to make sure that he understands that it starts with him. If you want to be a football player and you want to really get out there and execute and do the work, then I need to see that you're at home sharpening your focus. I need to see that you're not sitting up on a video game playing Fortnite for 3 hours. But that's up to me as a parent. I'm either going to give him a time frame to be able to play the video game, or I'm just going to be one of those parents that just don't care because he's out of my hair. So, and I say that I have to work with him because he's 11, but back to us as adults, we have to sharpen our focus. We have to ask ourselves, what do we need to do in order to execute our plan? We have to ask ourselves that question. Just like I asked my 11-year-old, I got him thinking today, guess what he got to do? He have to come to me with a plan. So to me, I know that football is a team sport, but I need to make sure that my child, when he's on that field, that he's doing what he needs to be doing in his position, right? So if he does what he needs to do, that's going to make this next player step up so they can do what they need to do. Then that way they'll be able to execute on the field. So that's just a little analogy that I wanted to use to help you understand where I'm coming from when I talk about sharpening your focus. Number 3, you have to believe and know that you have the ability, I just messed that whole word up, the ability to actually do the job, to do what it is that you want to do. You have to ask yourself, how will I execute my plan and my goals? Right? At first you asked, what did you need in number 2 when we talked about sharpening your focus. Now we're on number 3. You have to ask yourself, how will I execute my plan and or my goals and or my vision that I have for X, Y, and Z? And if you're not asking, you have to ask yourself these questions. And if you're not, then guess what? You're going to fall into the category of just talking about it. And as we know, it's so many people that talk about so many things. I've been around individuals. I am an executor. I take information that I learn and I implement it. I go to conferences. I invest in myself. But guess what? I'm not just putting my money into these other people's businesses. If I buy someone's program that I think is going to help me get to the next level, you best believe that I'm actually implementing what I'm learning. I'm not just going, sitting down, getting this information that's so valuable, and I'm not going to implement it. I'm going to then fall into the category of just being one of those many that talk about it and not execute anything. And even you that are listening to me, I feel and I believe that I'm giving you valuable information, because the information that I'm giving you is actually information that I'm using to help me in my businesses, in my son's business, even me in my 9 to 5, because yes, I also have that as well. So I'm actually doing these tools that I'm giving you, I'm actually using them in my everyday life. I'm using them even with me being a parent. So it works, but you have to do the work as well. You have to take the information that I'm giving you, or even if you listen to anyone else that they're giving you, and you have to then take a step back and say, how am I going to take this from Sharika, this from my pastor, this from my leader, this from my boss, and how am I going to take all of these tools and implement them and make them work for my life, right? Because just the way that I do it may be different. So you can take what I'm giving you and you can implement it differently in your life and for the things that you want to do. But the same thing, the same questions that I'm giving you: 1, believe in yourself; 2, sharpen your focus. And under sharpen your focus, you ask yourself, what do I need to do to execute my plans or my goals? Number 3, you have to know that you have the ability to do it. And then there you ask yourself, how will I execute my plan and goals? So if I am saying anything that's resonating with you when you're either watching the replay or even live, tap it up, give me some hearts, share it with a friend. Also, you need to ask yourself, under knowing that you have the ability, like, what strategy can I use, right? So that goes right back to what I just said. You may be listening to me, you may be listening to your pastor, to your boss, your mom, your dad. Everyone is giving you some type of tools throughout life, right? And so then it's up to you to take all of those tools and try to implement them for your own life. So what strategy will you use that will work for you, right? So number 4 is the last one. You have to be able to ignite your passion. You have to be able to activate your passion yourself. You have to be so passionate about what it is that you want to do that you don't need nobody else to encourage you to do it. That's how passionate you need to be about whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's to write a book, start a blog, be a vlogger, be an influencer, be a speaker, be a writer, be a rapper, I don't know, be a football player, be the dopest dance instructor that's out there. You have to activate your own passion. I am my biggest encourager. I tell myself that I can, right? Although I love it when I get DM messages from individuals that I don't even know that's watching me across the country somewhere that says, oh, I saw your post today and it encouraged me. Or, oh, your video on this, I watched just that 1 minute and it helped me. I will be lying if I said that I don't appreciate getting those. But what I appreciate the most is when I can look at myself in the mirror and I can encourage myself, that I can tell myself that I can, regardless if anyone is watching me, regardless if anyone gets it, as long as one gets something that I am passionate about, I feel that my job is done. And that's the space that you have to get in. You have to get in that space for yourself. Nobody else. I tell my son that all the time. And I say son, and I tell both of my children, but my oldest is 21 and he's not in the home. So I can't really speak to both right now. And that's me being honest, right? But I can speak to the one that I have at home. I tell him every single day. Prime example, I don't know if you guys seen those little bands that some of the football players wear, I guess, to hold their sweat back or whatever. So I brought my son one, I think it was for like his birthday. And he was like, oh, Mom, you think I should wear this? I want to wear it to school, but I don't know what people are going to say. I stopped him dead in his tracks. Why does it matter what someone else is going to say? Why does it matter? How do you feel about wearing it? Are you confident enough to know who you are by putting it on? And that's what it goes back to. You have to be so passionate about whatever it is that you want to do in life, whatever it is that you want to wear in life. You have to do it. Don't worry about, because if we are so focused, right? And this is a prime example right now, right? If I can just be real and be honest, right? I have one viewer right now. One, but I'm passionate about this thing. I'm passionate about encouraging other people. I'm passionate about making sure that you don't fall in a category of just talking about it, and that you become an executor. So therefore, I could have did one or two things when I first got on. I could have continued with my broadcast, or I could have just got off. But I'm not worried about that, right? Because I know individuals are going to eventually see it. And even if it's just the one that's seeing it now, guess what? My job is done, right? So you have to be able to activate your passion. You have to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I writing this book? Why am I playing football? Why do I want to play football? Why do I want to be a rapper? Why do I want to be a blogger? Why? What is your why behind what it is that you want to do? And that why should activate your passion. And if that why is not activating your passion, then guess what? You need to go back to the drawing board and start all over to figure out what's going to keep you motivated to do what you set out to do in the first place. Don't be the one that start and then don't finish. And even in that, you don't want to don't overwhelm yourself, right? And you have to make sure that along with everything that I just gave you, that you be clear, about what it is that you want to do. And that goes back to what I just said. If your why doesn't activate your passion, then you need to go back and start over. And you need to be clear about what it is that you want to do, about what it is that you want to give back. We have all been blessed. We have all been blessed with some type of gift and or talent, right? And it is up to us to figure out what our gift and talent is, and we have to be clear about how we're going to put it out into the atmosphere, and how we're going to bless others with our gift and with our talent. And it took a long time for me, and that's me just being honest, right? It took a long time for me to really just focus on what I was so passionate about. So just make sure that you are clear about what it is that you want to do. Make sure that you are taking these 4 steps that I gave you, so that you just don't be a talker and you're actually a doer that's executing things. So 1, believe in yourself. 2, sharpen your focus. 3, know that you have the ability to get the job done. 4, ignite your passion, activate your passion, know why, and make sure you're clear about every single thing that it is that you're setting out to do. So with that being said, I am Sharika Nicole. You can follow me on I'm Sharika Nicole on Instagram, actually all my social media pages. You can follow my business at I just said I am, my bad. Hung Up Boutique, that is my business. You can follow me on my other business, Define, Plan, and Execute. It's a Facebook group under Define, Plan, and Execute Your Vision. On Instagram is DPE Your Vision. And both of my Facebook pages is Sharika Nicole or Hung Up Boutique. I also have a fitness group that I started on Facebook too. That's called Fancy Fresh Fit Challenge. So I like to work out. So I just go in there from time to time to motivate others, and then other individuals post. So we're all just helping each other and encouraging each other. So again, follow up. Tap it up, give me some hearts. If it's anything that I said that resonated with you, share it with a friend. You don't even have to share the full broadcast, but you can share the link with a friend. Thank you to those that watch my live, and thank you to those that's going to watch the replay. Again, I am Sharika Nicole. Remember, the dream is dead without you. It is always all on you. It falls back to you. You can't blame it on your parents, on your caretaker, on your guardian, on your spouse. You got to take full ownership. It's going to always fall back on you. I'm going to actually do a Periscope on that probably Thursday. So again, thank you for watching. I'm Sharika Nicole. Be blessed. Have a great day. And I clearly got to get this together.